Just do that. Okay. So great day, everybody. Welcome to Holiday 101. My co-host and I, Melissa Fiaschetti. Woohoo! Excited we could do this together. So we're going to talk we're going to have two different Zooms. So here's, we're going to start talking about strategy and what we do each year and what's happening. And then we're going to do part 2 in a second Zoom, because if you don't have time to watch it all together, it'll give you the nuggets that you need about open house, sharing your career during the holidays, and your themed shopping events and parties. So this first section is about the holiday strategy. So let's talk a little bit about holiday strategy to-dos in November. So in November, you want to let everyone know that you can help them with their holiday gift buying. Sell giftables and have the holiday inventory, continue to have the holiday wish list. And all of these things are going to be, any handouts that we're talking about will be listed on my website, brendatholen.com. Go to resources and then holiday 101. Okay. So everything will be at your fingertips. So the other thing that will never change is continue to see more faces, continue sharing your product, having people try the products, and just letting them know that you are that resource. And then offer holiday themed beauty experiences and skincare parties. Review the holiday wish list and connect with those buying gifts for them. Now, a lot of times the men will wait till the last minute, so you can wait on those. Women tend to be shoppers sooner, so they will, you can get them now, and they like to start their, usually, most personalities. So, but you can, just keep in mind that you have to go through those. You can't wait until the week of Christmas and be like, oh, your daughter wanted this or your sister wanted this. So you want to really stay on top of that. And then the other thing is that I always love to do is a temptation basket, and that can be two different things, really. It can be the fun gifts, things that you're wrapping up if you choose to wrap things. And number 2, a sale basket. People love a sale basket. People love to really make it a deal. Why we do too. When you think about going into any retail store, they always have fun things at the counter. Always. And I'm always like, oh yeah, I'll take 2 of those. I'll take 3 of those, and it's like, oh my God, this is so cool. So, and you feel like you're getting a deal, and sometimes you are, sometimes you probably aren't. It's probably regular priced, but it's right there. So, and that's an add-on. So that's always a good thing. So the other thing that I want you to think about is tracking your way to $10,000. Now, whether that's your goal or not, you can adjust it accordingly, but this handout is on there. So thinking like this in the next 7 weeks, I think we have about 7 weeks to go, thinking of 10 silent hostesses, having 10 wish lists, 10 holiday parties, 10 skincare parties, 10 open houses, and 10 corporate sales. And when you think about it in terms like that, 10, it's not so bad. Like, you're like, oh my God, like I could totally do that. And so just thinking that, and maybe even just strategizing, maybe you don't want to do one of those categories, and then you can just make it up somewhere else. But that's where, your director can help you in maximizing you working with your strengths and what you enjoy doing to make it fun. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it over to Melissa to talk a little bit more about that. And then we can do the 13 serious cash potentials.
Awesome. So yeah, and what I love too is if when we're talking about all these different handouts, go online and definitely, I don't know about you, but it's great that we're all digital now and everything, but sometimes you have to actually print something off. So I would definitely print off that tracker with the tracking your way to $10,000 Christmas, and start to fill it in, fill in those people, and you'll really start to see that. And so the way I always start is thinking about, for me, I love the holiday kickoff. We are kicking off the holiday selling season right now, first of all, just getting ready. Pink Friday, which is your Black Friday, is just 2.5 weeks away, really. It's November 29th. We'll be at 2 weeks this Friday. And I'll be honest with you, for me, it's that day, just that one day, is honestly one of my biggest selling days of the year. That and my anniversary sale, top notch. And just letting your customer know that you don't always have such a big, you know, if you're always doing a sale, it kind of diminishes the value of what's happening here.
Yeah.
But because my customers know that big of a sale happens only twice a year, they get super excited about it. So be, you know, thinking about that kind of, you know, don't get me wrong, I'll do little Labor Day sale here or whatever, but nothing is as big as Pink Friday. And so you really want to set yourself up. And every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I think when I first started, that's what I want you to be thinking about. Like, you might be a brand new consultant that just started, you know, 2 weeks ago and think, oh my gosh, I don't have a customer base to pull this off. But every year, if you start establishing and doing the work now for this year, every other year after is going to be so much easier. So when we were planning this together, it was so easy to just pull up my stuff from last year, look at my numbers, and set a goal. So for me personally, you know, it started off where maybe I think I did $500 retail on Pink Friday. When I had just started in June, I hadn't really been growing my business. But I had enough friends and family, and I had been doing faces somewhat consistently. So I had this nice base. Well, that $500 now has grown to, I think last year I did $1,900 in one day, right? And I didn't leave my house and I didn't go anywhere. You know, I know we all have big parties that might be the norm where you have that for a week, but this was one day, me setting a sale and forgetting about it, turning my phone off, everything just went straight to my phone. And to, like, at the end of the day, after, you know, did my own shopping and did my own thing, to turn my phone on and see all those sales and start adding it up, it was worth the effort. So you definitely want to do that. So we want to just kind of talk about the strategy of setting that up. And it's the whole weekend, really. So there's Pink Friday. Then there's Small Business Saturday, and we'll talk about some strategies for that. I know Brenda has an amazing one. And then Cyber Monday. And so I kind of wrap up that whole weekend. And it's all, you know, it's a mix and match of virtual and in person. And last year I did it all virtually. I didn't even, Small Business Saturday, I did virtually as well. Sometimes I do it at home though. So just be thinking about that don't limit yourself if you're traveling for Thanksgiving. I know some people, you immediately think, oh, I'm traveling, I can't do this. These are set it and forget it kind of things that you can have going that whole weekend while you're spending time with your family. So that is the beauty of our business, is that, you know, if you're building those relationships and you set this up, you're going to be so happy that you did. You're going to be paying cash for Christmas is what you're doing.
Right. And that next vacation.
Exactly. That's what I always think about. So do you want me to launch right into how to set up Pink Friday, or do we have or you want to talk about the 13 different ideas first?
Sure, I can do that.
Cool.
So this is just 13 tips on our serious cash potentials for a great holiday season. So idea number 1 is holiday skincare classes. That's a given. Holiday glamour looks. Usually most people have a party to go to and need a glamour look. And so I'm not going to read this section. I'll just kind of give you the tips. How's that? And then if you want more details on that, you can ask us. Idea number 2 is holiday coffees. Is such a great way to keep things simple, whether you do it at your house or you going to your hostess's house. And in our next segment, we're going to talk a little bit more about an open house in my checklist. Idea 3 is holiday on-the-go appointments. You know, basically just having a basket with things ready and just showing them the different things that we can offer. Number 4, 12-day packages, meaning like 12 days of Christmas. Or it could be the 12 days of Hanukkah, whatever the holiday is. Or if you don't even want to use it as that, you can just say 12 days of gifts. Number 5, holiday open houses. Okay, same thing. But this, and again, we'll talk about this in the next segment, more detail about that. Number 6, employee gifts. Offering your gift service to businesses that you do business with. If they have employees, they need gifts. They need to, and it's always a proven fact. They had this in CNN that when people are given gifts, they feel much more appreciated. Even if it's a token gift, they feel much more appreciated. Number 7, wish lists, which we talked about. Wish lists, huge, huge, huge. And honestly, all of this too, I move this into Valentine's Day. I move it into Mother's Day, Easter, all those things, so that those wish lists, even if they don't get it for Christmas for them, they can get it for the different other holidays or birthdays or whatever. Okay. Number 8, silent holiday hostesses. Perfect. Again, we mentioned that in the other Track Your Way to $10,000. Number 9, private holiday makeovers. Okay. One-on-one makeovers. Pillow gifts. This is really cute. And there's actually a little saying that goes with it where you put the gift under the pillow for somebody. Number 11, emergency gifts to bring to someone's house as a hostess. Gifts to bring you a gift, but forgot to get you forgot to get them something. Done that. And thank God for Mary Kay. And number 12, gifts we forget, maybe Secret Santas, the boss, secretary, fellow employees, teachers, neighbors, church leaders, or a neighbor, that maybe was kind, things like that. And number 13, personal gift giving. Remember, you get to shop at 50% off. So why not take advantage of that? And that's actually a great tool with our, sharing our career as well. And just saying, you can get 50% off and being your holiday consultant. But again, we'll talk about that in the next segment.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think those are things that you can be sprinkling throughout November and December. But we want to wrap this little piece up right here for you to get started right now. When you're done listening to this video, we want you to start thinking about Pink Friday. Absolutely. Set a goal for yourself. Set a money goal for yourself. What are you going to do with it? And the reason why I love it is because that, again, just launches you into a really powerful December. And it helps you just end your year on such a positive strength. So let's get your calendar out. So Pink Friday, November 29th, 2 weeks beforehand, that's when you want to start thinking about, making sure if you're mailing postcards out, you would probably want to mail them out on Wednesday so that they can be to them by Friday. So that's 2 weeks out. Anything more than 2 weeks, people tend to ignore and they forget about and they don't put on their calendar, but 2 weeks has been my magic formula. The other thing I do is right now I would start creating a Facebook event for this, and I would have the starting date be midnight on, what becomes Thanksgiving. As soon as the clock hits 12 o'clock, 12:01, it's now Pink Friday, and that's when the sales begin. So my Facebook event goes from there until Cyber Monday. And I usually have it end at 9 o'clock on Cyber Monday. And I have things that I'll be posting throughout those 2 weeks leading up to it. And so we'll be sharing kind of a party planner for you as well. That's going to be on Brenda's website. Don't forget, brendatholen.com. All of these things will be there. But start by planning that out in your mind. And the first thing you want to do is notify all your customers as soon as possible. So as soon as you get that Facebook event up there, even your customers who aren't on Facebook, mind you, are still invited to this. They'll be getting texts from me. They get emails from me. I do it in all different ways so that it's, I know my customers. My customers, honestly, most of them are texters. So I make sure that I don't leave out that avenue of communication. Think about who your people are. I have a handful that are emailers, so I make sure that's going out. You just don't want to leave out, you don't want to just do one way, because they definitely have all different ways that they're reaching out to you. So the first thing you're going to do, get out your customer list. It doesn't matter if for me, what constitutes a customer, I don't care if they just bought a lipstick a year, as long as it's been about a year and they've bought something from me, they are my customer, and they are going to be getting a note from me about Pink Friday. The first thing I do, I like to, I have an Excel file, or you can print out your customer list. I like to kind of see, was it worth my money to be able to do that? And that's when I noticed that Pink Friday was a big deal for me. I print out my customer list because the other thing I do is I use that as a follow-up tool. After Pink Friday's over, that next day, I might send them a note and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you missed my Pink Friday sale. Just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm also doing a Small Business Saturday open house and Cyber Monday. So if they forget, like life gets busy, they know that there's other opportunities. And I kind of track, and that also helps me then update my preferred customer list for the next mailing, because I can see who like actively participated in this particular sale. So I use it for a lot. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you're having some type of image. We're going to share all of those with you. So it's a little text that says, save the date. And that's what I'm sending out this week on Friday. Once that Facebook event is out, I'm going to be texting all my customers, save the date, biggest sale of the year, Pink Friday, November 29th. The 29th begins at 12:01 a.m. So they have that. And then I'm going to be sprinkling stuff throughout the next 2 weeks. Make your Facebook event private. It is a private sale. That is the big deal. We do not want to be stealing other people's customers. That is not a happy Merry Christmas when you steal somebody else's customer. I do make a note on my personal page. I do say, oh my gosh, so many exciting things happening in my Mary Kay business. Head on over to my business page to check it all out. And from there, that's when I ask them if they need to be invited to the Facebook event. If they're not working with another customer, do definitely check that out. Once I have that set up, that Facebook event, the cool thing is from there, that's my go-to place where I post everything first. So I usually do once a day, like I'll do a fun gift idea. I'll post a wish list. So I just want them to start thinking about it. And then the cool thing is I use that as my home base, and then I can take pictures and images from there and use that to text out to people. So that I just kind of have everything in one spot. Make sure that you're establishing, we're going to share with you and I'll show you, like this Pink Friday flyer, it has my discounts available. I do it by time. So I say from 12:01 a.m. to 6 a.m. you get 30% off. From 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. you get 25% off. And the discount goes down. So what's cool is I have a hardcore group of customers who at 12:01 a.m., I literally have 10 texts coming through with people who want to get that 30% off. They know that discount goes down to 10% between 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 p.m. So if they want the good discount, they're getting it in early. They get an additional discount if they're a prestige client. So from 12:01 a.m. on Pink Friday to 6 a.m., my prestige clients get 35% off. That is a big deal.
Sure.
That is huge. And so people want to know, how do I get to be a prestige client? They want that extra 5%. So be thinking about that. Like have that's a great tool to build that prestige client group. So this will be posted again on Brenda's website so that you can see it. Now I will tell you, you're an independent contractor. If you don't want to do those amounts, you can change that. Be thinking about that. Be strategic in your business. Some people do dollar, if you spend $50, you get $10 off. If you spend $75, you get $15. Whatever you want to do, but if you want it already done for you, which is what I like to do, I do that. So you, again, maybe talk to your director about what is your money goal, what does your inventory look like, and how can you best take advantage of all of these. So that's kind of how I set up my Pink Friday. And then throughout that day as well, in that Facebook group, I also do flash sales for that day as well. A flash sale, you can use my flash sale posts. I will have them up and you're welcome to be invited to my group. That's fine. We'll put them on Brenda's page as well. But it might be different for me and you. If I have things on my shelf, my flash sales are things on my shelf that have maybe either been discontinued or I have a lot that I want to move. And so be strategic about what you want to get off of your shelf during this time. People are looking for gift ideas and they're looking for a deal. So that's how I use those flash sales. Those flash sales are just for those items and they don't get the discount on top of the flash sale. So if I'm selling you an eyeshadow for $5, that's what you're getting. You're getting the eyeshadow for $5. You're not getting an additional 30% off on top of the $5.
Right.
So I hope that helps, like just setting up that Pink Friday. Again, go to brendatholen.com for all of the different breaking it down and setting that up.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah.
And then just to piggyback on this Small Business Saturday, one of the things that has worked for me is sometimes I've done like an open house at my house, but this year what I'm doing, I'm actually participating with other small businesses at a studio. And they were asked if I would come, and it's a lot of people I don't know. So I was like, oh my God, yeah, definitely. I will do that. So I'm actually doing that. And it's like, I think it's 4 hours, and we give a raffle gift, and it's $25 for the table, which I thought was super reasonable. And I'm like, you know what, I'm in. So that's another option there. Like if you don't want to do, something at your house. Or if you do want to do something at your house, feel free to invite other, businesses that maybe do business with you, and that you both can, or 3 or 4 or 5 of you that could invite your customers to help you get more customers. So there's, just lots of options there. So,
and that's so cool. I know it's Small Business Saturday too is really an opportunity too to thank your customers and let them know you are a small woman-owned business. You're an independent contractor. And so when they choose to shop with you, they are directly impacting your family, your pocketbook, and people want to know that. So don't be afraid to let them know. And then finally, to wrap up that whole weekend is Cyber Monday. It's the biggest online shopping day of the year. And you want people to think of you before they think of Amazon. And so make sure that you're really taking advantage of that. And that's why if you're setting up those Facebook groups, don't do it so that it's just on Pink Friday and it's done. You want to be able to have small touches all the way throughout so that you're wrapping it up on Cyber Monday and not missing out on the opportunity for virtual sales as well. And that's our Pink weekend, I think, right?
Yes, I think so. So thank you, Melissa. So that will conclude part 1, and we'll be back momentarily for part 2.
Yay.